Good morning. Hey everybody. It is 10 a.m. Thursday, August 30th. I hope somebody can join me today. While I wait a minute and see if I'm really live, I'm going to look at my iPad as well. Hey Kathy. All right. So, just a quick little update. I did not get my monthly newsletter Facebook Live done today. So this month, I'm sorry. I just never had time after my Stampin' Up! Awesome cruise to Alaska, which was towards the end of July, and then a retreat and lots of big stuff. Hey Arlene, I just couldn't get caught up. So this is a little I wanted to do a Facebook Live this month and give you guys a project, and I'll catch you up on a little bit of news, but I won't do the full news since the month is over tomorrow. But there were some things I should have told you about, you know, some specials and stuff. So I'm glad some people are watching. I'm gonna go ahead and jump in and get started so that we can get to the stamping. So thank you guys for joining me today, or if you're watching replay, whichever, thank you very much. If I will give away a prize today, it will be the card I'm making today. Yay. So I'll mail it to one lucky person, and all you have to do is make a comment like Arlene and Kathy, share the video, get another entry, and then if you want to get a couple extra entries, you can make a project like the one today. It doesn't have to be the exact one, but you can use the same technique or whatever, like template, I think would be the word today, and post it on as a comment on this video, and I'll give you a couple extra entries, so get you guys using your stuff. So don't forget to say hi, make a comment, ask questions, whatever you want. And if I don't get to you today, like actually comment on your comment, then I will reply later on Facebook. Okay, so let me tell you guys what's ending tomorrow. Hi, Cynthia. Tomorrow is the last day to get coupons from Stampin' Up! So for every $50 you spend, hey Karen, in August, again, that's tomorrow, you get a $5 coupon emailed to you from Stampin' Up! For any order next month. The coupons expire next month, so you guys who've already received them, which lots of people have, make sure you redeem them in September, that you will lose them. And you can still get those coupons through the end of today. Hey Linda and Barbara. So through the end of tomorrow, I'm sorry, I said the wrong day. So $50, every $50 you spend, you get a coupon, and that goes for demonstrators too. When we place $50 orders through ourselves, we get those coupons emailed to us from Stampin' Up! Yay. So that's ending, and then the awesome limited edition stamp set dies and watercolor pencils ends tomorrow as well. It is called, the stamp set is Blended Seasons, the dies are Stitch Seasons, and then it's watercolor pencils assortment too. So I'm going to show you guys a few samples here. This is one we made at club, at my card class I should say, I believe month before last, if I remember correctly. And then here's one from my demonstrator meeting, so you can do all different seasons with this stamp set. Barbara, I know, I don't even know how many coupons I have, but it's a lot, and I'm excited to figure it out and cash them in. This is one we made at my club, and I think a lot of these, of course, as when I do them, are inspired by other, from other stampers. So I think I might have gotten that one from Pinterest. Here's one from the meeting, demonstrator meeting. Here's a card swap I received, I believe from Dorothy. She did some really pretty watercoloring there with the gorgeous grape. Then here's another meeting sample. Hint, hint, if you're a demonstrator, you can attend the meetings or get the make and take packets to go. This one is a swap I received on the Stampin' Up! Incentive trip, the cruise, but I don't remember who. I lost the card because I took it out to put it on display, and there was a business card in there, but that's a swap I received. another meeting one. So you can see basically how versatile and cute this stamp set is. This is one I believe we did in my card class month before last. And so that's using the dies, but then we used other stamps. So you can, the dies totally work by themselves. And there's just another sample I made that actually I wasn't too happy with it, but we'll go with it. And then last but not least, a couple of scrapbook samples. So right here we used the flowers right there from the set, and that's one of the scrapbook pages from my scrapbook class we do each month. And then we also used it in memory keeping right here, the leaves. And I'm only showing you guys one of each. We actually used both on the other pages. Anyway, so really versatile. And so let me show you the flyer real quick. Blended Season stamp set, watercolor pencils assortment 2, and the dies. I'm going to show you these later. But of course there's a bundle for the stamp set and dies. So you can only get that through tomorrow or while supplies last. If they sell out, I don't have news that they're running low, but it is a while supplies last situation. Don't forget, if you order from me online, make sure you use this month's host code, which you'll see it in a minute, but here it is. See if I can read it backwards. EZ622ETK. So you'll enter that on the shopping bag page. And then if it's $25 order or more, you're going to get a free class packet to make 4 cards from me using the Healing Hug stamp set, which I just love. It's so pretty. Stampin' Up! Has this new patent pending design called Distinctive, and that's what these type of images are, where you get so much dimension just from one stamp. So this is a swap I received on the cruise, and then I did my version of it. We made a slightly different one at card class last month. But so this is not one of the ones for the to-go kit because a lot of people have already made it. But that's just an example of using this stamp set. So if you do a $25 order with the host code, you will get that kit. If it's $50 or more, you'll also get a full accessory. Haven't decided what it is yet. Sometimes it's a roll of ribbon, pack of embellishments, whatever. I will be adding some other stamps, some greetings, I'm sorry. So the greetings are in that set are all like get well type greetings, and so in case you don't need all get well cards, I will be mixing in some words from this set, which is called Another Wonderful Year. However, you know, you guys do stamp your own kits at home when you earn that, so you can use any greetings you have on hand. You don't have to have anything special, I don't think. I haven't designed the cards yet, so so that's my special that ends tomorrow. Hey Pam. And then I want to tell you about my holiday extravaganza. It is coming up. The date is September 8th here in Midlothian at the Midlothian Civic Center. So anyone who's able to get there can attend. It's $39 by tomorrow, August 31st. You can still sign up after that. It'll go up to $45 until I run out of space, and then I'll close registration. I have an email going out about it Friday, tomorrow. So if you're on my email list, you'll get a reminder with the sign up link and everything. And if you're not on my email list, you can join it. But anyway, we will be using all holiday catalog stuff. Hey Landa, I forgot to say if you guys share my video. Oh, I did say it. But anyway, I would love it if you share it, because then we can share the stamping love with everybody, and I can possibly meet some of your friends. The holiday extravaganza will be using all stuff from the holiday catalog. It will be fall and Christmas themed. And you get lots of product with the fee and all that stuff. Hey Kim. Okay. I am offering private classes this season where I will come to you and teach you and your friends how to make all 4 of these cards. This is a kit that is coming out. Look at all the shiny. There's rhinestones on there, all kinds of stuff. This kit's coming out in our holiday catalog that starts September 5th. Hey Linda. And it's gorgeous. It comes with everything you need to make it except the stamp set, which I will provide at your class for everyone to use. And they will make 20 cards, 5 of each design, and then they will get these really pretty envelopes that are gold foil, and then they have, there's old olive and a cherry cobbler design on the inside. 20 cards. Each person will pay $29 to make all 20 cards. It's a great deal. I'll come to you, you provide the friends and the location, I'll provide the entertainment and instruction, and you can get free stuff from Stampin' Up. So contact me to book your party. I do have limited dates and they are filling up. So that's something I'm offering to local customers. But that kit is in the catalog too. So if you're not local, of course you can get that and purchase it. Last but not least, before we get to stamping, I have emailed, I've sent 2 emails, but I only intended to send one about my holiday catalog shares, which are coming out next month. And thank you, Pam. You probably can't see this, but it's just to give you the idea. That's all the stuff you can get in the shares. There's 3 to choose from: designer paper, accessories, and what's the other? Ribbon. You can buy 1, 2, or 3. So get on my email list if you want to sign up for that. I have an email for that one going out September 4th and 9th. And the deadline is the 9th to sign up for my shares. Each one includes a little bonus gift. So if you get the accessory one, you'll get a random roll of new washi tape. If you get the, oh, it's rainy in Maine, it's just hot here in Texas, but hey, Jeannie and April. If you get the designer paper one, you'll get a bonus of 1 each of all 3 of the new 6x6 glimmer papers, which are so pretty. If you guys aren't, well, you probably all have received your catalog at least, so you've probably seen it in there if you're not a demonstrator and can order it already. And then last but not least, the ribbon, you'll get a free random roll of the Festive Farmhouse Baker's Twine. So you get a little free gift with each share that you order. Okay, I need to move these out of the way. So that's kind of a quick recap of what's going on and what I should have told you about at the beginning of the month, but hey, you still have 48 hours to take advantage of these specials, basically, till basically midnight Mountain Time tomorrow. So don't forget to comment and share, because I'm going to turn the camera down now and I won't be able to see your comments. I'm trying a new setup here, so we'll see how it works out. I may like it, I may not. I've also ordered some new video stands that are coming in today to test out, but I just want to make my Facebook Lives as smooth for you guys as possible, but still easy on me. So we're going to do some stamping now, and I've sent the measurements out on Facebook, so if you did cut, you can stamp along or you can make it later. I'm going to make sure I'm saying everything. Yeah, so, and don't forget, if you make one of these, I'm going to switch the camera now. If you make one, you can post it as a comment here and get some extra entries. Okay, so let's see how this is going to work out. So I can't see my camera as well when I do it this way, but I don't have to transition as much. Okay, so here is the paper that I named in the post. So we have a 4 1/4 by 11 piece of Whisper White. You could also use a normal card base. It ends up being the same size. So when you fold that in half, it's 4 1/4 by 11 with the bone folder. You end up with the same size card base as if you had the 5 1/2 by 8 1/2. So let me turn it this way. There it is. Yay. Try to make everything straight for you guys, but it's probably still crooked. So that's our card base. Fold, stamp and sign your name on the back. Don't forget about that so everybody knows who made it, and then set it aside. And I always have you guys do that first so that you can, if you mess up and maybe you stamp it the wrong direction or it's crooked or it smears, then you can cover that up with the front of your card and get a second chance to stamp the back on the back. So anyway, that's step 1. We'll set that aside now. These are your other 3 pieces. We have our 3 3/4 by 5 Highland Heather. 3 3/4. I'm sorry, I made this one a weird measurements. It's 3 7/8 by 5 1/8 Gorgeous Grape, and then the normal 5 1/4 by 4 Granny Apple Green. Had to think about that name. And that's the layering piece. So this one we just needed to be a little bit smaller, but it's gonna get hidden, you'll see, so the cutting doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, and then this is the watercolor paper, which I've already die cut just to save a little bit of time on the video. And I used the new stitched, temporarily available Stitch Seasons framelets. These are all the framelets which match the Blended Season stamp set. These are the 3 I used on this card, which you're going to see, they're awesome. And then here are the other framelets that come with the set. So this one matches the bell, but the rest are just accent pieces. They don't match specific images. So you can stamp the leaves and then add detail leaves and stuff like that. It's a really cute set. I love the frame pieces the best. They're like big labels, and currently we don't really have any big labels, guys, from Stampin' Up, so you know, get them now. They're great. And then let me show you the stamp set real quick. When you buy it in clear or wood, it comes in 2 boxes, so it's a lot of stamps. Like I said, it covers a lot of seasons, and you can kind of see them all right there. So, and my card today doesn't actually have words. It kind of doesn't have room, so you would stamp on the inside or just write a sentiment. And then let me just show you the watercolor pencils real quick. So it is called Assortment 2. They are Cherry Cobbler, Flirty Flamingo, Cajun Craze, Crushed Curry, Granny Apple Green, Garden Green, Coastal Cabana, Balmy Blue, Night of Navy, and Gorgeous Grape. These are not colors that we currently sell, and Stampin' Up! Is indicating we're not going to sell these colors in the future, so get them now. It's only like $12.50 for all, oh gosh, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 10, I believe, of those. Okay, so let's get started on our card. The first thing, I'll start with this piece. So I have pre-stamped on here this flower image. I did die cut it first and then stamp. And I did that because I didn't want to waste and stamp on watercolor paper, which is more pricey, where I didn't need it. And it was easy to align where I needed to stamp it, even though clear isn't really totally clear. So I die cut it, and then I stamped that in black Stays On, because we are using watercolor pencils. So if you're going to do something wet with water, you need black Stays On, or Stays On of any color, but anyway. If you're using blender pens, first of all, don't use watercolor paper. It won't look good. Use Whisper White, and then use Memento Black. I mean, sorry, Stampin' blends, not blender pens. Blender pens you can use with watercolor paper. I'm really confusing today. Okay, so here are the 3 colors I'm going to use: Crushed Curry, Gorgeous Grape, and Granny Apple Green. To save time, I will just color like 1 flower and 1 leaf for you guys, and you will get the idea, and I'll show you the finished one. I will, okay, first of all, I'm holding this sideways to get, so I don't get harsh lines, and I'm coloring lightly, but you don't have to be perfect. But I will say I am not the best watercolor penciler. I've gotten better as we've had this promotion with watching videos and learning some tips and tricks, but I'm not the best. And that just proves to you guys anybody can do this. Anyone can do stamping. I'm not artistic. Here's the Crushed Curry. I'm just not gifted that way. And here's my Granny Apple Green. So anyone can really do this stamping stuff, and even fancy watercoloring and all that. Okay, so you add a light layer of your pencils, and then you take your aqua painter. When you buy these, you get 2 in a pack. There's a large tip and a small tip, and they are I think $17, $18 for 2. It's a good deal, but the price has changed by a few cents over the years. I'm going to use the small one for this, but in general I just use whatever I pull out of the box, because I have several aqua painters, and whatever size usually works. I always have a paper towel on hand so I can clean it off, but also if it's too wet, I can dry it a little bit. If it's not wet enough, how you get the water to flow is to very gently squeeze and let the water come through. I always have my hand underneath so that no water drips down on my projects. Okay, and then, so it's just water, and you blend. Make sure you don't blend both colors at one time or they will mix together. But hopefully you guys can see how smoothly these pencils are now becoming watercolors. And then I learned from a Stampin' Up video that while this is wet, so I just painted the Gorgeous Grape. While it's wet, if you add pencil, it just goes on super smooth. So if it dried some, wet it again, and you can add your second layer here and then blend it out, and you get less of the harsh lines. But you can add that dark to wherever you want, but in this case it's I'm using Stampin' Up's artwork as my guideline, like I always do, because like I just told you guys, I'm not artistic and all that. And we are using watercolor paper, so you can keep getting it wet over and over and it won't damage the paper or break down. So that's a bonus in case you need to add more or whatever. And then let me just sort of make that less harsh of a line right there. And again, you can just keep adding layer after layer of dark and all that stuff. And clean off all the Gorgeous Grape, blend your other color, clean it off. That was crushed curry, and then I'll do the Granny Apple Green for the leaf. And on this one, I'm gonna go back and add some more detail as well while it's wet. I really like how smooth it goes on when the paper's wet. And I'm sure you can wet the paper first and apply your pencils, and there's many tips and tricks you can do. So there's some of my coloring. Let me show you my finished one. I did yesterday while Landa was over here cutting paper for my demonstrator meeting. So that's Jennifer's version of watercoloring, and hopefully it looks good to you. So that's what you do with that. That's how you use these pencils. Really easy. They blend really well. Remember not to make harsh lines. You can, anyway, there's lots of other things you can do with the pencils as well, but that's what we're doing today. So now let me show you, bring in the Big Shot, and let's do a little die cutting real quick. So I have my magnetic platform on here. When you buy the Big Shot, it doesn't come with that. So if you don't own it, you can totally do this without the magnetic platform. You just make sure your dies don't shift. And so to do that, you might want to place a sticky note across. You place on top of the bottom cutting pad, you place your paper and then your die with the blade facing down, and then just a sticky note across the top holds it in place. A tip, always use a clean cutting pad on top. So when you get your cutting pads, reserve one for the top only, and then cut on the other one, because the cuts that end up getting in your cutting plate, which it can get as bad as this, all that stuff comes off on your top paper, and you don't want that. So have a clean one on top. And then, so it's platform, cutting pad, paper and die, cutting pad on top. Run that through. You can actually run it as fast as your little hand will go, but I am trying not to shake the camera too much. And then what I want to show y'all about these dies is they put stitching on both sides. So you get stitches here and stitches here, and we're actually going to use this piece on this card, so that is great. Now, this one, the Gorgeous Grape, which we wanted to be a little bit smaller than the Granny Apple Green, I'm placing that Granny Apple Green on top of it so that I can see where to cut this next size down framelit. And so obviously I'm taking my time here to align it properly. If it's not perfect though, you'll be able to adjust the paper underneath, so don't stress about that. And I'm just leaving that Granny Apple Green on there because I know if I remove it, I'm going to shift something and have to start over, and it doesn't hurt it because it's not embossed. Okay, so now I have this piece, again, with the stitching on both sides. These two I can use on another project later, so I will save those. And these are the ones we're going to use on the card today. Okay. If you don't have a big shot, you should look at the demonstrator starter kit. Anyone can get that starter kit, and with it you get a discount on all your purchases, but you get to pick 125 in any current merchandise you like. That could include the big shot. Okay, so we're gonna attach these together like this, but with Stampin' Dimensionals. So you'll want to see if yours is cut so that none of the gorgeous grape shows on the front. And this one, oh, yep, we're getting a little bit showing here. It was the same way when I did my other sample. So what I would recommend you do is place your dimensionals all the way around, and I just used little scraps from the edges, and I'm super lazy about this, so I rip them off. In general, I don't get the scissors out, but I put them all the way around, and then I attached it so that it looked good here, and then I took my paper snips and I cut off any excess. So you can see here how it's jagged. I just took the paper snips after it was attached with dimensionals, and I made cuts like this so that nothing showed on the front. And then I went back in and put more dimensionals. I don't normally use this many dimensionals on a project, but because it's 2 layers that are popped up, and it's gonna be, you know, on my card front, I didn't want it to get smushed in certain areas. So there you go. Lots of dimensionals, 2 frames, really cool. And then Landa was here yesterday when we were making this, and I was making it, but I was asking for a lot of help. And we were playing around with the layout, and I didn't like the white background. So that's what your Highland Heather is for. You're just going to add that, and it's a little bit smaller so that it doesn't end up showing on the sides. So snail adhesive, all 4 sides, and then place that in basically the center. But again, the good thing about this is it gets hidden, so if it's crooked, it's fine. Then we'll remove all of our Stampin' Dimensionals, or the backings, I should say, which is going to take a second here. Like I said, I never use this many, but sometimes your projects just call for that. As a reminder, while I'm doing this busy work, comment and share. I cannot see your comments right now. So if you said anything that requires a response, I can't see it, but I'll see them later. But that's how you get entered into my drawing. Comment, get an entry. Share, get an entry. And then make a project using this basic layout and post it here as a comment and get an entry. I will do the drawing in about a week, and that's approximate, but in about a week I'll do the drawing, and so you have a little while to enter and still watch the replay and all that stuff. Okay, so there is our card front. Ooh, and I don't know if you can see it on Facebook Live how dimensional that is, but I love it. It's so cool. I don't usually make such fancy cards. And then this piece is going to go down inside flat because we want to emphasize the frames. So it is watercolor paper, a little thicker, so I'm going to cover it with snail adhesive. And then place that in the center. And that light gorgeous grape goes really well with the Highland Heather. So there's that part. And then I just took my Granny Apple Green. I have to look at the name of it. Textured Weave Ribbon, which is in the regular catalog, and super pretty. When I'm tying my own bows, not, you know, cutting for a class, I just leave the ribbon on the roll to save ribbon. I usually do a bunny ear bow, so you make 2 bunny ears with lots of space in between. You can't do a bunny ear bow like this because you just can't. So lots of space in between. You make the loop, Then you put the bunny ear that's still attached to the ribbon in the rabbit hole. And you pull it out. I'm being really economical with my ribbon today. And then you just adjust your bow and make it look actually pretty, because they never come out pretty the first time. And then you trim it, and you have no waste on this side. 0 waste. So here's my bow I made. I'm just going to use a mini glue dot and attach that on, and that is the card, you guys. It's actually pretty simple. Let me know what you think. Give me a thumbs up or whatever, those little emoji things you can click on if you like it. Hopefully I'm holding it properly here. Oh, back it up a little bit. And yeah, so that's it. So I hope you guys like it, and will make your own with a little frame there. It's not really a technique, like I said. It's more of just a, thank you, Linda. It's more of just a template, I guess, like a way to lay out your cards. You could use any colors, like it could be so cool, I think. It might be a fall one instead or whatever. Thank you, Pat. Thank you, Rhonda. Okay, so that's what I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. I appreciate you guys' business. Some of you are my customers that I see every month. Thank you very much. Pat, for example, demonstrators in my group. But I appreciate everyone tuning in. Hope y'all have a great day. Tomorrow's the last day of the month if you're a demonstrator, so get all your stuff taken care of. And if you are not a demonstrator, think about getting that kit. There are thousands and thousands of demonstrators out there, and they we all get a discount on our own supplies, and we all love stamping. Like, that's pretty much it. You can do more, you can do less, but the kit is only $99. You get 125 of anything you want, and then there's no obligation. If you don't do anything after that, it's nothing bad happens. So that's just my little plug for that. So have a great day. I keep looking around because I feel like there's more I want to show y'all, but I think that's all I pulled for today. So have a great day. See you later. Bye.